April 16th, 2020. Doesn't matter what day it is. If you listen to Night Guy and Buddy, basically if you just listen to all the podcasts on the Buddy System channel in general, but there seems to be like a bit of a connection between all the ones I'm in, which are this, obviously, the Buddy Cast and Night Guy and Baldy, and I guess now A to Z with Zero Ripson. But yeah, I've been using this metaphor. Okay, so if you're first time listeners, recap. What is that? Is it in Dragon Ball Z or like those old timey movies where there'd be like an announcer? Shit. Last time on ACMM, something like that. Basically, because I can't work on stand-up comedy right now, I'm working on myself. It's a weird logic to want to improve as a person, just as a means to be a better stand-up comedian, but whatever. If you want to improve, you want to improve. So one of the metaphors I've been using is like a video game, being in first-person mode, like Call of Duty, versus being in second-person, like Spider-Man. And I feel like I think I think a better word I can describe it is like present. If I'm in first person mode, I'm like hyper present in the moment, which is good for life, but specifically for stand-up comedy. You feel like you gotta be present in the moment, you gotta be loose. And I seem to have a better flow comedically if I'm present, but it's like a new thing that I'm working on, and it's actually pretty hard. It takes like a lot of mental energy for me to do. So I'm gonna try to, I wrote some shit down. I'm gonna try to improve with it. I'm gonna treat it like, I don't know, like stand-up or like a new project. It seems like I'm the type of person who needs a project. You just gotta give me something to do. I do really well in those like small communities where one second. Okay, yeah, anyway, need a project. So what seems to happen is like when I'm quiet, when there's no distractions around me, it's really easy for me to go into like first person mode. And then when I talk, it gets harder. It's like all my energy goes to being in first person mode when I'm not speaking. And then as soon as I start talking, it's harder to like click back into that and then add talking to a person, which implies that I talk to myself a lot, which I do. And I don't think that's what crazy people do. I think a lot of people talk to themselves. Technically, this is like talking to yourself adjacent. But yeah, that's the plan, is to get better at being more present, more in first person mode, slowly and by practice. So, most of my day, I don't really have to talk to anybody through most of my day anyway, so it's a good time for me to get as good as possible at this. And then when I do speak to people, I'm gonna try to like click into it. And then when I'm doing the podcast, I'm gonna try to click into it, which I'm not worrying about it right now. I don't have the energy for it. I'm exhausted, but yeah, that's the plan. Also, there's one more thing. Okay. All right. I think Autumn and Kirk. Goddamn, like you're on the fucking USS Enterprise. Curt, Autumn and Curt. I think you guys will appreciate this the most. I think I've changed my mind a little bit on weddings, just a little bit. Hold on, these loud ass dogs are barking. Give me a second. All right, there we go. Yeah. So Autumn and Curt. To you guys specifically, I've changed up my feelings on weddings, not marriage. Still anti-marriage, still anti the legal paperwork, all that stuff, because I'm a hippie or whatever. But I've changed my mind on weddings, and my logic is just it being a celebration of people getting together, of families getting together. I know this sounds so cute. I know it sounds like the end of one of those after school specials where the kid learns a lesson. And then his heart got 3 sizes too big for his chest cavity, and then his heart exploded. is what should have happened if it was to be anatomically correct in The Grinch. No, I've changed up my mind on weddings. Like, I've actually been I'm surprised when it comes to this whole quarantine thing. I thought it would be really hard for me in the beginning. Like, for a person like me, you would think I'd be losing my fucking mind right now. But in the beginning, it was hard. It was mostly scary because I didn't know what was going on. Now that we've hit a groove, I hope this is the lowest end of the groove, but I'm pretty sure it won't be. But now that we've hit like a groove in all of this, I feel like I can settle into whatever my new normal is at the moment, and I'm enjoying it. It's really nice. It's really nice to like walk around and be chill all day. It's nice to not be stressed out, and I'm trying to my plan is to get as good as possible at this first person thing before I get back. So when I get back, I'll have a shifted headspace. I've gone completely away from the other point I was making about weddings. Yeah, no, I've changed my, I appreciate people a little more now. Like, groups of people I can appreciate more. And camaraderie and all that cute stuff. Yeah, I definitely have ups and downs in this whole quarantine. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Currently on and up. And I feel like just an appreciation. Just goddamn, dude. Anything that brings people together. I watched, I don't know if anyone listens to the Philip DeFranco show. I watched that shit today, and in the beginning it shows, I guess there's protests out in not California and not New York. No, there's was it Michigan? Is it Michigan? There's protests in Michigan, and they have all these people on video talking about how, like they want to get out. There was a woman who was talking about how she needs to get her hair done. It was wild. All of this shit's wild. But I don't know. I'm doing well and working on my shit, and I'm gonna keep practicing this whole first person viewpoint thing.